How's it going, everybody? My name's Dave Whipple and you're watching Bush Radical Pike Fishing with my favorite fishing partner, my son Mick.
Hello.
In one of my favorite places in the world, Minto Flats, Alaska, in the very heart of the state. Mick and I are about to have ourselves some sardines for breakfast. The manliest breakfast any hobo could ever eat. So, if you were going to explain sardines, what would you say?
Don't risk it. It ain't worth it.
We're enjoying sardines and mustard at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Best breakfast I've had in weeks.
Is that true?
I haven't had very much breakfast in the past couple weeks.
It's probably because you don't get up till like 11.
That's probably it.
One time I was out here with my brother Ryan, and the swans come in, and there must have been 500 swans. And they just honked all night long. And it was like being in a parking lot. Just so, these things wouldn't shut up. Finally, about the time to get up and go fishing, about 6 o'clock in the morning, the swans finally shut up. So this piece of property out here is surrounded by water. It's got this big, beautiful lake to the north. And this used to be our property. We owned this for years. We got tons of old films and stuff of us fishing out here, and it's just a beautiful piece of land. The only problem is it's got a problem with erosion because all this ground is silt, and this lake is, I don't know, a mile and a half across, and if it gets real windy, it just washes this bank down here completely out. We've sold it to someone else. We still have rights to fish here. It was part of the sales contract. From the time we owned this piece until now, we've probably lost 40 feet. So here's the trail. Goes down to where we parked the boat. Oh crap, Mick. Here, I'll show you. Mick and I have been walking right next to this stupid thing. Oop. There we go. I didn't get stung, but I got one bounced off my face.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either. I notice it now. Looks like we're going around from... We walked by that sucker all last night. Go ahead and drop the anchor, son. Oh, hey! You got one on already?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Big one. No.
Oh!
Third time this has happened.
I saved you from taking them off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as fishing gear, we have only the finest, most modern gear because there's really no excuse to have anything less. For our outboard, we're running a 1957 Johnson. So although this motor is 60 years old, it's been maintained well. We keep it up the best we can, and it's even been down the Yukon River with us. And anybody who runs a motor that old, we've got a spare motor down here. This is our 18 horse get back to town Johnson kicker. We're fishing out here in front of our old property. There's our camp. So right there is a black bear on the bank. And our camp is about, I don't know, 100 yards to the right of where we're filming. And Mickey is Mick's right there in the boat. Hey, Mick.
Hello.
There's the black bear. Where's he at? I lost him. Oh, there he is. He's down there. There's the black bear. And if you go from the black bear this direction, just a little ways, there's our camp. So it's good to know we got neighbors. Good idea to keep an eye on them, I suppose.
bet $1,000 I know what drew him in.
Sardine spam.
Yep. Brick of spam.
Well, he was probably there when we. The wind is going completely opposite though, so he doesn't smell anything that's down there on that end. But yep. Lots of black bear in this country for sure. So I guess Mick and I'll just sit here and fish and wait for the bear to come take our camp down for us. Because we did leave 2 sardine tins up there. We didn't have a fire going this morning, so we couldn't burn them up. If he gets downwind of those sardine tins, he's gonna find them. No question about it, because that stuff is stinky. We'll keep an eye out, see if we can get another shot of him. Well, that was cool. Other than the fact that we got to go take our tent down at some point. You ready to drop anchor, son? Get a good feeling about this corner. What's that? It's been good in the past. Man, it's getting windy. Good thing we brought that anchor. So underneath the floor where Mick's feet are right there, we keep there's an axe in there, there's an extra tarp, fire extinguisher, I think there's a hatchet in there, and there's usually generally an extra pole or 2 under the other side. When you run with an old outboard like this, having an entire set of tools is handy. Got one? Awesome.
Big.
Is it?
He's good size.
Oh, nice.
Set the hook really
Nice.
nice.
Sucker seems like he's pulling. Hey, not bad. Oh, and he really took it too. Bring him over here. I'll get him out. You might have to come forward a little more.
Can we eat this one?
Yeah, we can eat this
Yes.
one. I'll have to keep an eye out for that black bear though. Not bad, son. Not bad at all.
Yes.
That's a good fish. Yep. We'll have ourselves a good shore lunch today, and then we'll leave. Oh, that was easier than I thought it would be. That ought to do it. Oh, nice.
That's a nice fish.
That's a beauty. It's going in the frying pan today.
Definitely. Gosh, it let me tell.
Try not to get our boat nasty.
Oh.
Lay him blood side up. That's kind of a joke, really. This is the nastiest boat on the water.
Yeah, it's good size.
Oh, he looks like he swallowed it too, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Can't get away.
It's a good fish.
Yeah.
You done catching fish?
I think that we should go try another spot, at least.
I'm sick of you catching more than me, I know that.
The smell of cooking pike.
So Norman is the name that Mick has given the bear that's waiting for us back on the island. The island's small, and we've got at least one bear on it. So when we get back, we're going to be cleaning a fish by the hornet nest and trying to avoid the bear that's on the island. No question about that. What are your thoughts, son?
On the whole matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of the wasp nest by throwing it into the water and domesticating orbit.
That's probably the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah,
How exactly do you plan on getting the bee nest in the water without getting killed?
Simple. Make you do it.
Negative. How about we walk around the bees and we just hope the bear leaves us alone? So Mick and I made it back to camp. Been fishing all afternoon. And we get back here and that bee nest that we passed earlier is now completely busted in half. None of our stuff got messed with, but that bear almost must have been through here because we didn't do anything to those bees. And that bee nest is all trashed now. And the bear is on this island. I mean, this is an island. He didn't just walk farther down the shore. He's here somewhere. What we're going to do, we're going to break camp, we're going to clean this fish, have ourselves a shore lunch, and wrap her up. But, got a lot to do in the meantime. So what we got is we got a broken hornet's nest and a black bear on this island. And we're going to cook some fish. Stay tuned. We're going to give this nest a nice wide berth. But you can see that's not what we left it as when we went out fishing this morning. Whole bottom of that nest is gone. And when it comes to taking the Y bones out of pike, this is generally the way I do it. I can find this set of bones right through here. You can just see the tips of them. I generally run my knife right along those bones. You definitely want to be above the bones, not below them. Then you can turn your knife and work this piece of meat off. Once that piece of meat is off, that should be a boneless section of meat. And from there you can see all the bones along the back. Taking your knife up underneath of them and separating those bones from the rest of the fish is the next step.
lot of times from there you can just pull the whole thing out. Just like that. And that is that entire set of bones that everybody complains about when they're talking about pike. And what you end up with this top strap of meat that's boneless. And then you end up with the whole rest of this fillet that's also boneless. And just separate the fillet from the skin, like so. And that's what you end up with. Okay, can you run me some water? Hold on just a sec. A little bit more. First, I'm gonna get my hands halfway clean and take a fillet very lightly. Just get any debris from the table off it. Good. Put that piece into a couple bite-sized chunks on our plate. A little more. Good. A little more. Nice. One more time. Good deal. So there's 1/2 of that fish in fillets. That's a lot of fish. Trim up the other side of this guy. Throw it. So there's a nice giant plate of pike fillets, all boneless. The Y bones are all removed. Vic and I are going to go up, get the fire all stoked up, ready to go. We're going to pig out. Get the oil? Yeah. Pour it in. Dump. More oil the better when it comes to frying fish. What we're going to have to do here, because we're really short on everything, especially silverware, or paper towel, or it's going to rain. Just going to take our flour, pop our flour open. We're going to dredge our fish in the flour, in the bag, just like so. The fish gets stuck up nice and quickly. Beautiful. Nice. That fire's ridiculous for cooking on, but it'll get it done. Beautiful thing about cooking like this is it's simple. Turns out a fantastic fish dinner. Over a fire, you've got all the heat you could ever want. So you're not getting mushy fish. You're getting good crispy fish that are cooked well. You know, if you do this at home, if you don't have enough heat on your range, cooking fish slow is never the right thing to do, in my opinion. I like to cook them hot with a lot of heat. That way the oil never gets into the fish, just cooks the outside. Outside's crispy, inside's cooked and tender. Woo. There's a couple examples of these pieces that are already done. Beautiful. Ooh. That's about perfect. So what do you think, son?
Like a steak.
Like a steak.
Well done.
Nice. Let's have some tartar sauce on that. That's what I've been waiting for.
Tartar sauce?
Tartar sauce.
I'm not a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like tartar sauce on your Spam sandwich last night?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, best we forget that.
I don't even want to think about the Spam sandwich.
No, I'm with you.
Lemon pepper is the only stuff that should be on here.
I like tartar sauce. I really like that Old Skippers. I think it's Old Skippers. Or just Skippers. Or Skippies or
Some captain-like name.
can you
Yeah.
give me a big dollop? Nice. What do you think? Is it done about right?
Oh, definitely. Or maybe I'm just too desperate from having sardines and Spam sandwiches.
Yeah, the sardines and Spam sandwiches really didn't go over as well as I thought they would have. So we didn't have a problem with the bees, but the bees had a problem with something else. I think it must have been that bear that was out here. Probably come down the trail. But we didn't do a darn thing to that bee nest, and it's all knocked apart. And the bear is somewhere out here. This island is probably, I don't know, 10 acres maybe? We used to own 5. We used to own this center section. So I know the center was 5. Without the erosion and whatnot. But the bear's still here, but he hasn't made himself known. You'd think the werewolves would keep the bears away, but they don't. I thought that one fish was going to be more than we wanted. Pike is the most maligned fish out there. People say it's junk, people say it's full of bones. It's got some bones. Most fish do. But the meat is firm. It's white. It's very mild. Doesn't really have any fishy taste to it at all. Like a salmon might or like a trout might. It's the closest thing to probably halibut. This is a good fish. Run out of paper towels, so we had to use toilet paper to set the other ones on.
You can't find class like this anywhere else.
Nope. It's amazing people aren't lined up down at the dock. As opposed to a black tie to get in, you'd have to have a black and white daredevil to get in. Let's leave it for Herman. Or
Herman?
who was what'd you name the bear?
Norman.
Norman.
Okay.
Matter of fact, there's been a raven around here too, and I'm sure that raven
I've been hearing him.
That raven is ready to take care of any crumbs that got dropped. Ravens don't miss anything. You can see our good weather's changed up a bit. A little cloudy, a little sprinkly. A little bit of a Hershey bar after greasy fish and mayonnaise and pickles and whatever's in tartar sauce. Nothing goes better with pike or grease and chocolate. Mick and I had an absolutely fantastic time on this fishing trip. We saw some wildlife, we caught some fish, we had a good night's stay, had a nice camp over, good fire, nice fish dinner the next day, just a good time. Thank you guys so much for coming along with us. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share button. You've been watching Bush Radical. My name's Dave Whipple, and be radical, eh? See you soon.